Hi, Guillermo, good afternoon. We're gonna, oh, there you go.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm gonna wait 1 more minute to see if we have the rest of the class, okay? In case that
Teacher.
nobody else enters, we're gonna start. Okay, now we are complete, or at least almost complete. No, we're complete. Okay, well, we're gonna start with the class of today. And I just wanted to ask you, did we get to finish the activities of past passive? No, right? We just had we just saw the material. I haven't shared with you. Okay, I remember now. Well, good afternoon, everyone again. Today we're gonna be working with past passive. Last class we were seeing like the structure and the content of it. So today we're gonna put into practice that. But before we go to the exercises, I'm just going to like give you a little, let's refresh a little bit about the structure and the use of it, etc. Okay. So the past passive, as the word says, refers to the past. And remember that whenever we're using passive voice, we are focusing more on the action, on what happened, rather on who did the action. So when we don't know who did the action, when it is not someone important, it is not relevant, or is something in general, I mean, it's not that somebody in a specific did it, it's better to use the passive voice. The passive voice is compounded by the verb to be in past tense in the simple past passive, plus the past participle of the verb. For example, we're being flown, sorry, the damage was caused. My phone was stolen. And remember that these type of sentences start with the object of the sentence. And the object of the sentence is the one that is receiving the action. For example, if I say my phone was stolen, what was stolen? What was stolen? The phone. So the phone is the one that is receiving the action. And that is the one that will go at the beginning of the sentence. My phone was stolen. And it will vary if you're going to use what, sorry, was or where, and according to if it is singular or if it is plural, right? In this case, my phone is just one, so that's why we're using was. My phone was stolen because I need to use the past participle of the verb. In this case, the past participle of the verb is steal is stolen. And this is for the simple past, right?
In this example, teacher, in this
Yes.
example, my phone was stolen.
Mhm.
If I were talking in plural,
Mhm. My
What
phones
is that?
were stolen.
My phones were
Where?
stolen
Yes,
in plural.
yes.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. And this is for the simple past. Now we have the past continuous passive, and the past continuous passive, we use it to talk about something that was taking place in the past and was in process, right? It was in process during the past, and it is exactly the same as the first one. I mean, the who did the action, and that is not that relevant. What is relevant is what was going on in the past continuous passive. For example, okay, past continuous passive, a structure, remember, it is was or were, depending also if it is singular or plural, plus being. I'm always going to use being in the past continuous passive. Being plus the past participle of the verb. For example, I didn't know that my photo was being taken. Estaba siendo tomada. That is like the equivalent in Spanish, right? So a structure of past continuous passive was or were plus being plus the past participle form of the verb. Then we have the past perfect passive. For the past perfect passive, we have always have, plus been, plus past participle. And just as in the past perfect, like the normal, the active one, just as in the past perfect passive, it is used to talk about something that was done before another action. For example, the house had just been built when it was destroyed by the hurricane. What does it mean? That this, what I have in blue, happened first and before this other action. It means that the main action, in this case, that it was destroyed, whatever happened before it, I'm going to use the past perfect. But if I'm not, I'm focusing on what happened, not who did it, right? That's why I'm saying I'm using the past perfect passive. The house had just been built. The woman had just been rescued from a fire when she arrived at the hospital. Okay, and the structure, I repeat, the structure for the past perfect passive, it is had plus been, always is gonna be like this, and the past participle. The past participle form of the verb is gonna be in every single passive voice. It's gonna be in the present passive voice, in the past passive voice, in the past continuous passive voice, and in the past perfect passive voice. It's like a must. We need the past participle form of a verb. What will vary is the auxiliary verb. But also the verb to be. The verb to be is always going to be there, but it's going to be there in different ways. For example, in present passive voices, it's gonna be like is and are and that. But in past, it's gonna be was or were. Past continuous was and were. In being, so I have a double. And in past perfect, it's been. Been plus the past participle form of the verb. Okay, it says a quick review. The person or thing that does the action is called the agent. Remember, when we are using passive voice in a sentence or in whatever we're talking about, it's because we are focusing on what happened, not on who did the action. Okay, keep that in mind. Because why is it like that? Oh, because it's people in general. I mean, it's not just one person, it's in general. Or because it's not important, or because it is unknown. What does it mean that I don't know who did it, right? And how can I structure a sentence like that? Remember, in the passive voice, we start with the object of the sentence, followed by, well, depending on the tense that you want to use, the verb to be, plus being or being, and the past participle of the verb. Do you guys remember about this? We saw it on Wednesday last week.
Yes, I am.
I do. Okay,
I do.
yes, you do. Perfect.
Mhm.
Let me share with you. It's been shared. Okay, I'm going to ask you to please open the exercise and we are going to start practicing.
What is
It says,
3-3?
3-3 past passive. It's in grammar. Forces of
Okay.
nature. Are you here already?
No, not yet.
Okay.
3-3 grammar past passive. Uh-huh. I am ready. Yeah.
Okay. Guillermo, Isela, Alondra, are you ready? Yes. Good.
Yes.
Excellent. Good. Okay. So here it says, change the blue parts of the sentences to the passive voice. For example, we were shopping for a new laptop because someone had a stolen mine. This sentence I have in here is active. Why is it active voice? Because I'm starting it with the person who did the action, which is someone. Someone had a stolen mine. This is past perfect, which means, what does it mean? That I will have to change it into past perfect voice. Okay, for example, what do I mean? That I have to start with the object. Mine, and mine is referring to the laptop, right? Mine had been stolen 2 days earlier. Let's do the next one together. It says, when I was on Main Street, I saw the police. They were arresting someone. This is the one that I have to change into past passive. Okay, who is or what is the object in the sentence?
Someone.
Someone, very good. Now, let's identify the tense. What is the verb tense that is used in this sentence?
Arresting.
But tell me, what is the verb tense? Like, is it past, continuous, simple?
Okay.
Past continuous passive.
Past continuous. I have to use the past continuous passive. Okay, someone, okay, what am I gonna use? Was or where?
Was.
Was, because someone is just one person, right? Someone was, what do I need to use with the past perfect, with the past continuous passive? After was?
Was arrested.
Being, was
Being.
being arrested. Someone was being arrested. And if I want, I can ask by the police, or I can leave it like that. Remember that the passive voice can end just with the action that happened. I don't necessarily need to know who did it. So if you want to add it, you will need to use by. And if you want to use it, it's okay like that. You can stop it as being arrested and that's okay. Or you can add by the police in case that you have that info, right? Is it clear what you are going to do?
Yes.
Yes. Remember, identify first the object of the sentence, the tense of the sentence, and then start structuring it. Okay, let me know when you're ready, please. I'll be here.
I have a question
Yes.
in this example, teacher.
Mm-hmm.
We change to active voice or
Yes.
to
What you
passive
have in blue is active voice. You have to change
Yes.
into passive voice.
Yes, I know that.
Notice that?
But I noticed that. But I have a question in this example. We wrote someone was being arrested by the police. By why being?
By, that is like the way I have to structure the sentence. If I want to mention who did the action, I have to use by, because by is like por, right? Was being arrested by the police, por la policía. But you're gonna erase this.
No, pero yo lo pregunto eso, yo pregunto el being, o sea,
Oh,
siendo,
el being is telling you that it was in progress. El being te indica que estaba en proceso.
Sí, en progreso.
Estaba en progreso cuando sucedió.
Pero la sentencia en negro no está en progresivo, ¿no? When I was.
Yes, where arresting. Where arresting is past continuous. Arresting, ing.
When I was on Main Street, I saw the police.
Luego tienes en blue, they were arresting someone. That's why you have to change.
Okay. Yes.
You got
it? I got it. Thanks.
Excellent. Okay, please work on the first part of the exercise and tell me when you are ready.
Okay.
I'm finished.
Guillermo, Jose, Alondra, did you finish?
No yet.
Not yet?
No, not yet, teacher.
Okay, I'll give you 2 more minutes, 6:55, and we check them, okay?
Thanks.
Okay, let's start checking them. Isela, can you help me with letter B, please?
Yes, teacher. The food is so fresh at this restaurant. To give you an example, this bread was baked just this morning.
Was baked just this morning. Very good. Letter C. Guillermo,
Was like,
Guillermo, do you have it?
Yes, the letter C. Okay. We couldn't buy any ticket for the concert because I had been sold the day before.
All of them have
And
been sold.
so
Okay. All of them son el object. All of them past perfect you're using here, so we will have to use past perfect passive. Have been sold.
food was taken.
Okay. Letter D. Alondra, please.
When the typhoon arrived in my city, many homes and buildings had already been destroyed.
Very good. Many homes and buildings had, can you repeat that, please? Had already,
Had already been destroyed.
very good.
that's
Jose, letter E, please.
letter E, when this photo was taken, you were just a child.
Excellent. When this photo was taken. Okay, Isela, letter F.
I was free all day on Saturday because my soccer game had been canceled.
Very good. Guillermo, letter G.
I don't have this.
You don't have this one? Okay.
No.
Alondra, do you?
Yes. When I bought the car, it was clear to me that it had never been cleaned.
Very good. It had never been cleaned. Do you
Is it
have the next?
negative? Is it negative, isn't it? It
Yes.
hadn't ever.
Yeah, but el ever The opposite of ever will be never.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh. I had never. It's the
Eh,
same if I put it hadn't ever.
No, you
No?
cannot use ever with the negative structure.
Okay, I had never. Okay.
In that case, you will use never. I have never.
Okay, I fixed my mistake.
Excellent. Guillermo, do you have letter H?
Yes.
Can you help me with that, please?
They removed the for sale sign because the land had finally been bought.
The land had finally been bought. Very good. Letter I, Jose?
Mhm. Okay. Let me see. The house was rebuilt by them 2 years
Right.
after it had been destroyed in the fire.
Very good. The house has rebuilt. Was revealed, sorry. Very good.
Was rebuilt.
Letter J. Isela, please.
It was hard to have a conversation with anyone at the party because the music was being played loud.
Very good. Was being played loud. Good job. Letter K. Guillermo, do you have it?
No.
Alondra?
Can I see the other
Yes,
answer,
yes, yes.
teacher?
Before
Thanks.
letter J? Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Alondra K.
In order to break in, the back door was forced open.
Very good. The back door was forced open. Excellent. Questions about this exercise, Guillermo? Do you have any question or do you feel it uncomfortable or do you find it complicated?
No, I think with the practice, yes.
Okay. Well, the next part says, complete the sentences in passive voice, just simple past, continuous, or perfect. Basically, it's the same. But in here, we don't have the sentence we're gonna change. We just have the verb. So, for example, in here, because of the landslide, the road, and then I have closed by the police. So the road was closed by the police. So by the context, we are going to decide if we're gonna use past simple, past continuous, or past perfect passive, okay? For example, this damage by a flood. This damage what?
Was caused.
Was caused. Very good. So like that, you are going to check the context of the sentence, I repeat, to decide if it is past simple, past continuous, or past perfect, passive, okay? So please work with the second part and tell me when you are done.
It is done.
Excellent. Isela, Guillermo, Alondra, did you finish?
Yes.
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 Perfect. Letter B. Alondra, help me with it, please.
Sandy arrived while lunch was made.
While lunch, while tells me that two things were happening at the same time. So,
Have been, was being made.
was being made. Mhm. Was being made. Remember to check the keywords. Letter C. Isela.
This computer was $200 off because the box had already been opened.
Had already been opened. Very good. Letter D. Guillermo.
I turned off the light because the room had not been used.
Was not
Was
being, was not
wasn't
being
open.
used.
Okay.
Pero
What-
lights.
In
Entonces,
this example, teacher,
lights it's plural, so it's were not being used. Tell me, Jose.
why it were and no had not been used?
Because we're talking
Yes.
about something that was in progress. Well, in the negative, what wasn't in progress. I mean, I turned off the lights because the room, we're talking about the room. The room was not
Yes.
being used. That's true. Was not being used because we're talking about the something that was not in progress. In this case, it's negative. The room was not being used, so that's why the lights were off.
Mhm.
Yes,
Okay.
Jose, letter E, please.
We were at the park when this photo
This photo
was taken.
Was taken. Very good. Letter F. Alondra, please.
When I go to the party, all the food had already been eaten.
Very good. Had already been eaten. Letter G. Isela.
We didn't have a car to drive because mine had been fixed at the shop.
Mm,
Or was being
was
fixed.
being fixed.
Okay.
Was being fixed. Guillermo, letter H.
The door was forced open by the strong wind of the typhoon.
Very good. The door was forced open. Jose, letter I. While
the students were being taught English grammar, class was interrupted by the ringing of a phone.
very good. We're being taught. J. Alondra.
The frightened screams inside the movie theater was heard out on the street.
Were hurt because it's plural screams. Ay,
Cierto. Ujú.
were hurt. Letter K. Isela, please.
Nobody was near the coast because when the tsunami arrived, as everyone has been warned 2 hours early than the alarm went off.
Has been.
Had been warned.
Had been warned 2 hours earlier when the alarm went off.
Yes or not, teacher?
I'm trying to, let me see. Nobody was near the coast when the tsunami arrived, as everyone had been warned. Yes, yes, it is perfect.
I put was in this case.
Was,
What is the difference between was and had?
that was is only used with like was what do you have? What do you have? Can you read it? Can you read yours, please?
I put nobody was near the coast when the tsunami arrived as everyone was being warned.
It couldn't be past continuous. In that case, it couldn't be like that because it says 2 hours earlier. And remember that the past continuous passive is used when something was in progress. And here it says 2 hours earlier, which means 2 horas antes. So it means that it had finished that.
Finished.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so
Okay.
that's why we are using the past perfect passive, because this
That's fine,
action,
that's fine.
when this action happened, this other one happened before it.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Yeah.
perfect. Now it says, complete the sentences with the words in parentheses in the past simple, continuous, or perfect. Should the words in parentheses be used in the active or passive voice? Do not change the order of the words. What does it mean? That we have to use the words as we have them in parentheses. I mean that the order, right? First, I'm going to use he, then I'm going to use lack, and then I'm going to use experience. I can change what can I do, or what do I have to do? I have to decide if I'm going to use it active or passive. Remember, when I use active voice, it's because who did the action is more important, or is more relevant, right? And I start with the subject, verb, and object in that order. And when am I going to use passive? When the action is what is important, not who did it. And I have the order of the structure of the sentence is object in the passive voice. For example, in this case, this one is active. How do I know that it is active? Because I have he, which means that it is the subject. He lacked experience. Let's go to letter A. Letter A says, I took the old coffee machine home because, and then it says eat, not use. Just by looking at these words, is this sentence going to be active or passive?
Passive.
Passive. And then I'm going to start because it what?
It wasn't
It wasn't
used.
being used because it's past continuous passive. Okay. Okay, so that's what you're gonna check. Notice always the order of the words, okay? If they are subjects or if they are objects. If at the beginning you have a subject, then it means that it's active. If at the beginning you have an object, then it means it is passive, okay? And you have the verb. The rest of it, you will have to modify it, changing it into passive, into past simple, past continuous, or past perfect passive, or active. Is it clear? And this one is
Yes.
the last activity. So I'll give you, it's kind of long, so I'll give you minutes. You tell me when you finish, okay? I'll be here. Did you finish?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Isela, Guillermo, and Alondra? Did you?
Not yet, teacher.
Not yet? Okay, I'll give you 2 more minutes and to start checking. Go to the letter B. Jose, can you help me with that, please?
On letter B, he was arrested by the police because he didn't have a driver's license.
Very good. He didn't have a driver's license. Good job. Letter C. Isela, please.
Yes. The swimming teacher tried her best, but the boy was too frightened to put his head underwater.
Very good. The swimming teacher tried her best. Okay. Letter D. Alondra, please.
When John had been finally appeared, we were able to start the meeting.
When John had finally appeared, we were able to start the meeting. Check it again. It says when this action finished, we were able to start the meeting. Don't you think that it fits better another tense?
I think it's when John finally appeared.
Appeared, just appeared. When John finally appeared. It's just past simple active voice. Guillermo, letter E.
The door was open because it wasn't locked.
It wasn't locked. Very good. Letter F. Jose, please.
This time last year, we were living in our old place. This house was still built.
Was it still?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure in this answer.
Let's check it. It says this
Okay.
time last year, we were living in our old place. Okay, we were living in our old place. This house was still built. You're missing one word.
Bien.
Was being.
Was still being built.
Was still built. It's past perfect continuous or something like
Past continuous passive.
past continuous passive.
Okay.
Was still built.
Isela, please, letter G.
I never talk about it until you say that.
I never thought about it until you say that. Good job. Alondra, letter H, please.
When we went to the restaurant, we couldn't sit at our normal table because it was being used by some other customers.
Very good. It was being used. Guillermo, letter I, please.
I was surprised my car was having problem again because it had been fixed just 2 months earlier.
Very good. It had been fixed. Jose, letter J, please.
Let me a second, please. This wine was expensive because it was bottled more than 20 years ago.
It was bottled. Very good.
Bottled. Bottled is a verb too. It's a verb.
Yes, es como embotellado. I think.
Embotellar, no? Was bottled.
Okay, letter K. Isela, please.
Nobody known about the problem until it was too late.
Nobody, no?
No,
Knew.
not new. Yeah.
Nobody knew. Okay, very good. So how did you feel? I felt you more comfortable with the topic and better. I mean, I think that you actually understood, got it, and comprehended it. Yes? Am I right?
Yes, I hope so.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I really think so. You did very well. Okay, so now we're done with the grammar of this class, and we're gonna go here where it says recalling details. 3.8, 3.8, recalling details, it's a speaking. And it says, this lesson is intended to be used as a grammar past passive review. It says, I'll explain you the intro. It says, students work in pairs and open the corresponding pages below. You will be working in pairs as we did last, like a few classes ago, remember? I'll separate you into groups, and you will be practicing this. Let me explain you. Each page, students are presented with 2 stories along with comprehension questions and answers. Students are to read their stories one at a time to their partners and then quiz them with the comprehension questions. Partners need to answer the comprehension questions, but they need to form answers in passive voice. The student's answers should match the ones provided under each question. Okay, real quick, I'll show you. These are the readings. Student 1 is going to have one of these readings. It will check that the other person knows the answer and answers it in passive voice, okay? And then a student 2, well, will read another 2. I mean, you will share readings. Is it clear what you are going to do? I mean, a student 1 of you is going to be a student 1 and the other one is going to be a student 2. So a student 1 will read it and the other person will answer the questions when the other student finishes reading it will make questions to the other person and the other person will have to answer them. Yes?
So will you form two groups?
Yes, I'll form two groups. Last time I remember it was Guillermo, Jose, Alondra, and Isela, but this time I'm going to make it a change, okay?
Mhm.
Guillermo, you're gonna be working with Isela and Jose with Alondra.
Mhm.
Let me just find where I made the groups because I forgot.
We
yeah,
need
yeah,
to
yeah.
open this exercise in my program.
Yes, please. It is the 3H recalling details. I
3H.
repeat the
Okay.
instructions. One of
Yeah.
you go to the student one section and the other one go to the student two. Don't cheat, okay? I don't want you, because the answers are already there. So I don't want you to read them. Student one is going to be in the student one and the student two in the student two. So when a student one finishes reading it, is going to ask the questions that are after the reading. And the student one has the answers already to check if the other person is answering the same way, the same structure. And if not, well, you can make corrections. So once one of you finishes, the other one is going to read the reading of the student two, and the student one is going to answer the questions. Is it clear?
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah. 3H.
Wait. Okay, Guillermo and Isela, and Insalatu, Alondra, and Jose. There you go. Remember, when you finish, you come back here, okay?
Mhm.
Ready? Did you finish?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Was just a student one?
And no, one of you is going to be a student one and the other one was going to be a student.
Oh,
You didn't finish?
no, not yet.
Okay, let me assign you again.
Okay.
You can enter again, right?
Creo que usted nos tiene que poner otra vez.
Se supone que ya. Dice no han entrado. Busquen por ahí, please.
No, no, no.
Donde dice más,
Yes.
unirse a la sesión para
Ajá.
grupos pequeños.
Yes.
Sala 1, ahí está.
Okay, now you're done.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, we're gonna wait for the rest of your classmates because apparently they haven't finished. So I don't know, go to the restroom, drink some water. Let's wait for Alondra and Jose. Oh, they're here, they're here, never mind. Don't go anywhere. Okay, well guys, how did it go? How did you feel in the exercise? Did you answer the same way? You were did you answer the way it was expected?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, you didn't cheat, right? Did you?
Not at all.
Not at all. Excellent. That's good. Okay. Well, we're gonna go here and we're just gonna read the information and I want you to tell me a little bit. I mean, without reading again, Guillermo, tell me about the earthquake reading. What was it about? Guillermo? Are you there? He did take it seriously that he was going somewhere. Okay, Tela, tell me, what about you? What can you tell me about that the earthquake reading?
It was earthquake that was right. The history was right by a woman and her husband Brian, and he was in her house when when her apartment start shaking. Um, I don't read this history. I use
You just heard of it?
yeah.
Okay. Don't worry. By the way, just one thing. History is what we know, like from, for example, the World War and that. Story is like when somebody else is telling you about something that experienced.
Okay.
Okay. And then we had this reading about this the bicycle. Who can tell me about it? What is it about?
Can I?
Of course, go ahead, Jose.
Okay, I want to talk about this story because I like to
You
ride.
like it? Oh, you like to ride bicycles?
I like bicycles in
Okay.
general. Okay, it is a story about a young man who the bicycle was stolen.
Mhm.
Was stolen. So he went to the police, or he called to the police,
Mhm.
and the police told him that they have bigger
Yeah,
problems
bigger problems.
than a simple bicycle or something like that. No? So this guy put put the information of his bicycle on Facebook and Twitter.
Mhm.
That he was looking for his bicycle stolen.
Mhm.
Finally, one friend of him told him that the bicycle was in a what is the number in a store
Okay.
or name it Craigslist. So the guy called to the police again and recovered his bicycle finally.
Oh, nice. Nice. He could, the fun thing in here, which is not that funny, it's that they were selling the bicycle, right? And it was in a store. I mean, it was not just like someone who sold it to another person, or it was in a store. So, okay, thank you, Jose. Oh, that was a student reading. Now in the student wants, who wants to share with me, Guillermo or Alondra, about the bear attack?
Me.
Go ahead.
It says that the father of a man named Peter was attacked by a bear when he was hiking in the mountains,
Mhm.
and he can escape and get to the road.
He could or he couldn't?
He could.
Okay, he could.
He could escape and get to the road, and a car drove him and driver to him to the hospital.
Oh, good, nice. Another one thing with your everything, it's good. I mean, you told the story perfect, but be careful, because when someone is attacked by a bear, it's because someone is wasted or drunk. By a bear is this animal. Okay.
Bear.
Because men being attacked by bears is very
By
common and often, but bear attacks are not that often.
Bear.
Okay, thank you, Alondra. Guillermo, are you here? I think Guillermo left. He just left. He says, I'm done. That's enough. Well, the shark in the water. Who wants to tell me a little bit about this story? What do you remember from it? Isela, did you read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
In this text, it's about of someone is in vacations on a resort. When he was in the water learning to surf, he and his instructor hear the alarm, and the alarm went off because a shark had been in the water.
Okay.
They oh, it's a mosquito.
No.
Later they have to out of the water and go to a safe place, and that's all. I don't remember more.
No, that's good. That's good. It's kind of scary, but well, good job. Okay. Well, guys, we're gonna stop in here. We still have 5 minutes left, but to be honest, 5 minutes is not enough to do anything. So we're gonna stop early today, 5 minutes early. And I will see you tomorrow at the same time, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay.
Thank you guys for being here. Good evening. See you
Have a
tomorrow.
good night.
Hi, good evening.
Same for you. Bye.